For decades, football's most powerful organization promised integrity, while hidden secrets quietly grew behind closed doors. Millions of fans trusted FIFA completely, never imagining scandals were developing beneath football's global empire. The beautiful game inspired nations worldwide, but investigators would soon uncover disturbing allegations everywhere. Behind glamorous tournaments and packed stadiums, questions emerged regarding money, influence, and hidden dealings. In 2015, an extraordinary event shocked football and changed how fans viewed FIFA forever. Before sunrise, authorities arrived at a luxury hotel where powerful football executives were staying. The scene looked unbelievable, resembling a crime thriller rather than football's governing headquarters environment. Officials who once controlled football's future suddenly found themselves facing serious criminal investigations worldwide. News spread rapidly across continents as supporters struggled to understand what was happening. The arrests revealed allegations involving corruption, bribery, secret payments, and abuse of authority. Football's reputation faced one of the greatest crises in its long and celebrated history. Fans demanded answers, while journalists rushed to uncover the full truth behind allegations. Questions multiplied daily, creating uncertainty about whether football's leadership could still be trusted. The scandal exposed deeper issues that extended far beyond individual officials and decisions. What investigators discovered would force FIFA into reforms and permanently alter football governance. Yet this dramatic story began years before police arrived at that Swiss hotel. To understand everything, viewers must first explore FIFA's extraordinary rise to global influence. Founded in 1904, FIFA gradually transformed into football's most important governing organization worldwide. Over decades, international competitions expanded, attracting massive audiences and unprecedented commercial opportunities everywhere. Football evolved from simple competition into a multi-billion-dollar industry, connecting billions of supporters. The FIFA World Cup became one of humanity's most watched and celebrated events. Every tournament generated unforgettable moments while increasing FIFA's prestige, influence, and financial power. Governments competed fiercely for hosting rights, recognizing football's immense political and economic value. Corporate sponsors invested enormous sums hoping to reach global audiences through football tournaments. Television broadcasters also paid record amounts to secure rights for major competitions worldwide. As revenues increased, FIFA gained extraordinary authority over football's most valuable commercial assets. At the center stood Sepp Blatter, one of football's most influential administrators ever. His leadership expanded FIFA's reach across continents while strengthening football's worldwide popularity significantly. Supporters praised his vision for growing football beyond traditional powers and established markets. Critics, however, argued FIFA lacked transparency and accountability despite controlling enormous financial resources. Rumors concerning questionable practices circulated frequently, though evidence remained difficult to confirm publicly. Allegations appeared periodically involving business arrangements, voting processes, and commercial rights agreements. Despite criticism, FIFA continued growing while maintaining authority over football's biggest competitions worldwide. Most supporters remained focused on matches, goals, celebrations, and unforgettable World Cup memories. Few realized investigators were quietly examining activities occurring far from football stadiums globally. Behind scenes, authorities and journalists increasingly explored financial relationships involving football executives. Their investigations gradually uncovered patterns that raised serious concerns regarding organizational conduct. Meanwhile, football's popularity continued expanding, creating greater revenues and higher financial stakes. hosting a World Cup became among the most desirable opportunities in international sports. Nations invested heavily preparing bids designed to impress FIFA's influential decision-making officials. Winning hosting rights promised prestige, tourism, infrastructure development, and significant global attention. As competition intensified, concerns emerged regarding how hosting decisions were actually determined. Questions surfaced whether influence and money affected important voting outcomes behind scenes. These concerns attracted journalists determined to investigate football's most secretive decision-making processes. Reports suggested relationships between executives and businesses deserved closer examination by authorities. Television rights became another major focus due to their enormous financial value worldwide. Controlling those rights often meant generating substantial profits through football's growing popularity. Investigators examined whether commercial deals involved improper payments connected to football competitions. Allegations expanded across countries, organizations, and individuals linked to international football business. Few suspected the approaching revelations would soon trigger football's biggest governance crisis ever. As investigations deepened, football officials continued operating normally, while pressure quietly increased behind scenes. World Cups entertained billions, masking growing concerns about FIFA's internal governance and accountability. Journalists uncovered new details suggesting corruption allegations might be far larger than expected. Whistleblowers began sharing information, helping investigators connect complex networks of financial transactions worldwide. Each revelation intensified scrutiny surrounding football's leadership and major decision-making processes globally. Then, another controversy placed FIFA under an even brighter international spotlight than before. The selection of World Cup hosts sparked heated debate throughout football communities everywhere. Russia secured hosting rights for 2018, generating celebrations and criticism simultaneously across continents. Qatar later won hosting rights for 2022, creating unprecedented discussion throughout football circles. Supporters praised FIFA's vision of expanding football into new regions and markets. Critics questioned whether the bidding process had been conducted fairly and transparently enough. Media organizations worldwide launched investigations examining details surrounding both hosting decisions closely. Public confidence began weakening as more questions emerged regarding FIFA's internal operations. Football supporters demanded greater transparency from leaders responsible for governing the global sport. Meanwhile, investigators continued gathering evidence involving business deals and football-related contracts internationally. Their findings gradually revealed a system allegedly vulnerable to corruption and misconduct. Authorities coordinated efforts across countries, creating momentum that FIFA could no longer ignore. Behind closed doors, purportedly, concern grew among officials aware investigations were advancing rapidly. Yet few expected how dramatically events would unfold during the spring of 2015. That year would become a historic turning point in football governance forever. On May 27th, authorities launched an operation that stunned football fans everywhere. Before dawn, Swiss officials entered a luxury hotel located in Zurich discreetly. Inside stayed influential football administrators attending meetings connected to FIFA's annual Congress. What happened next immediately captured headlines across every major news outlet worldwide. Several powerful football officials were arrested following requests linked to international investigations. Images of executives being escorted away shocked supporters accustomed to FIFA's authority. Television networks interrupted programming to report developments unfolding within football's governing structure. The arrests transformed long-standing allegations into an undeniable global news story overnight. Prosecutors described accusations involving corruption, bribery, racketeering, and illegal financial arrangements spanning decades. According to investigators, millions of dollars allegedly moved through improper football-related agreements. The allegations involved commercial rights, marketing contracts, and tournament business opportunities worldwide. Fans struggled processing the possibility that football's leadership faced such accusations publicly. Many wondered how corruption could exist within organizations overseeing the world's favorite sport. Sponsors monitored developments carefully, concerned about potential damage to football's reputation globally. Pressure intensified daily as journalists revealed additional details from ongoing investigations worldwide. Public trust weakened further with every headline, interview, and newly released allegation. Attention soon shifted toward FIFA president Sepp Blatter and his future leadership. Despite mounting controversy, Blatter secured another presidential election victory within FIFA leadership. His success surprised critics who believed change was becoming increasingly unavoidable everywhere. However, the celebrations proved remarkably short-lived afterwards as pressure continued growing relentlessly. Calls for reform echoed across football associations, governments, media organizations, and supporter groups. Demands for accountability became impossible for FIFA's leadership to dismiss or avoid. Then another dramatic announcement shocked football followers around the world once again. Only days after re-election, Blatter revealed plans to step down from office. His decision marked the end of one of football's most influential eras. The announcement signaled recognition that FIFA could no longer operate as before. Leadership changes suddenly appeared inevitable as football entered an uncertain new chapter. The scandal's impact extended beyond individuals, exposing broader weaknesses within football governance. Trust had been damaged, and restoring credibility would require substantial organizational transformation. Yet, understanding why reforms became necessary requires examining how FIFA's systems actually operated. FIFA operated as a global authority, controlling football's most valuable competitions and commercial rights. Billions of dollars flowed through broadcasting deals, sponsorships, and international tournament agreements annually. Critics argued such massive financial power required stronger oversight and clearer accountability structures. Investigators examined how decisions were made within FIFA's executive committees and councils. Voting processes for major tournaments became central focus areas of corruption allegations. Reports suggested influence networks may have shaped outcomes beyond official procedures and rules. Financial transparency was questioned as complex transactions crossed multiple countries and organizations. The system's structure allowed limited external visibility into internal decision-making processes. According to investigators, weaknesses in governance created opportunities for unethical behavior to occur. These vulnerabilities became more concerning as football's commercial value continued increasing rapidly. Sponsorship deals worth hundreds of millions intensified pressure within FIFA's leadership ecosystem. World Cup hosting decisions carried enormous economic and political consequences for nations. As scrutiny grew, reforms were introduced to restore credibility and rebuild public trust. Term limits were implemented to prevent long-term consolidation of leadership power. Financial oversight mechanisms were strengthened to improve transparency across organizational operations. Independent ethics committees were established to investigate misconduct allegations within FIFA structures. Despite reforms, public skepticism remained due to the scandal's scale and impact. Football fans continued debating whether meaningful change had truly been achieved. The scandal permanently altered how people viewed governance in international sports organizations. It became a defining moment in football history remembered across generations worldwide. Players, coaches, and fans focused on preserving the integrity of the sport itself. Football institutions across the world began reviewing their own governance frameworks carefully. Transparency became a central expectation for modern sports administration globally. The scandal influenced how future World Cup bids would be evaluated internationally. Media coverage of FIFA became more critical and investigative in tone afterward. Public demand for accountability reshaped relationships between fans and football authorities. Despite controversy, the sport continued producing unforgettable moments on the pitch. World Cup tournaments still united billions through emotion, competition, and national pride. However, conversations about corruption never fully disappeared from football discussions worldwide. The legacy of 2015 remained deeply embedded in the sport's modern identity. For many, the scandal proved that no organization is beyond scrutiny or investigation. It reinforced the importance of transparency in global sports governance systems everywhere. Football's governing body faced ongoing responsibility to rebuild trust over time. Leadership transitions marked attempts to move FIFA toward a more accountable future. New administrators emphasized reform, integrity, and improved governance structures publicly. Yet rebuilding reputation required more than policy changes alone over time. Trust had to be earned again through consistent action and transparency. The football world gradually adjusted to a new era of scrutiny. The scandal's influence extended beyond football into broader sports governance discussions globally. It became a case study in organizational accountability and institutional reform efforts. Even years later, discussions about FIFA often reference the events of 2015. The scandal reshaped expectations for how major sporting organizations should operate. Football continued evolving, but the lessons of corruption remained permanently visible. Fans now demanded greater honesty from institutions managing their favorite sport. The beautiful game survived, but its governance was forever changed. Ultimately, the scandal revealed both the fragility and resilience of global football. It showed that even the most powerful institutions can face consequences. Yet it also proved football's enduring ability to unite people worldwide. The sport moved forward, carrying both triumph and controversy into its future. And the question remains, has football truly changed forever, or is history still unfolding?